I was at a firearms manufacturer, in particular a firearms suppressor, so silencers, and
They're fun.
they are fun actually, and they make actually hunting, shooting very enjoyable. Much more enjoyable than they otherwise would be. Not the point, though, of the story, Mike. So the process at the time for a consumer to get a silencer is you had to apply for a tax stamp through the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, the ATF. And you had to go through what, again, at the time was a pretty lengthy process. It could be a year, maybe 2 years to get this approval. And then once you get the approval, then you're able to buy the silencer. And you had to do it for every silencer. It's not like you go through this approval process once and then you're good to buy as many as you want. It was every single time you had to pay this thing called a tax stamp. It was a $200 tax stamp. And we had this great idea that we should change this because so the business model at the silencer company that I was at is, hey, it's a real pain in the ass to get a silencer. We make it super easy. You come to our website, select the silencer you want. We'll prepackage all of the information that we need to collect from you. It takes you 30 seconds to give us everything we need. We'll take care of all the paperwork and deal with the dicking around with the ATF. We make buying a silencer simple. That was the premise. That was the value proposition that we brought. We had absolutely no desire for the tax stamp to go away because if the tax stamp went away and any Tom, Dick, or Harry could buy a silencer, our value proposition, if we make it easy, completely. Yeah. If you could just go to Walmart or
the complexity insulated you from
100%. So we wanted the tax stamp to stay. Most second amender people out there would say, well, get rid of the tax stamp. It infringes on my right, that whatever, right? And so there has been a huge movement in the silencer community, if you want.
That's a community.
Yeah,
it's a community.
And then throughout the silencer community. To abolish the tax stamp. There's been a huge movement around that for years. Quietly, we were doing the exact opposite. So we had engaged a lobbyist who was helping direct us to the people in Congress that were on the right committees, held the right chairmanships to enact legislation that we wanted. And it only cost about $100,000. Now, $100,000 is a lot of money to a lot of people, and that is significantly less than the billions of dollars we're talking about earlier in the examples, right? So to my point of, a lot of these people are more accessible than the average person understands. Now, again, $100,000 is a lot of money. It's also not billions. So for $100,000,
so for $100,000, you got a congressman to
we got multiple.
Write or support.
We got multiple. I mean, we had people in the Senate. We had multiple congressional people on the House Representative side.
Each of them were 100, or just
no,
all
in
together?
total. Because you can only give $3,300 per election cycle as an individual. You can only give $3,300 to a
unless
candidate.
you develop the PAC,
unless you go through a PAC, right? But we were doing this all individually. So it was me, the CEO, and then the chief operating officer. All three of us were writing personal checks because it wasn't company money; it was personal money. And
to make sure we have an attorney to run through this to make sure you're not outing yourself on anything.
On any election
campaign
fraud.
Like they'd come for you.